Legend of War here, and today I'm going to do something of a tutorial video, sort of like an expert guide maybe, for dealing with the Timurids or the Mongols. This techniques apply to both of them really. See, whenever somebody sends in a save file to disaster battle or a disaster campaign, there's like a 80 to 90% chance that it's going up against the Mongols or the Timurids. So it's quite a frequent issue for a lot of people. And I've given some tips and tricks along the way. And the person that sent in this save file here, they've applied a good portion of those tips and tricks to this. So I thought I'd go through it and assess what he's done, and also provided some advice on where he could have done better. But yeah, if this guy was like a student of mine, I'd probably have ranked what he did about a B+, so not too bad. So anyway, the Timurids over here, they're actually at war with the Mongols, so that's great if you can get that to happen. One way I like to look at this, if this happens, is historically speaking, the Timurids, they did actually go to war with the Golden Horde, which this is supposed to be the Mongol invasion, but at the same time it could also be seen as the Golden Horde. And they beat the Golden Horde so severely that basically the Golden Horde pretty much fell apart shortly after. Anyway, so loads of Timurid forces, but he's got a Timurid army caught in a fort here. And it looks like he built a huge trap of forts over this way, but he really should have built them this way, because it seems like maybe the Timurids showed up here, and he thought they were going to come through this way, but they actually came in this direction. So this is how it works basically, using forts. This is of all the techniques that I've tried against the Timurids, this is the most effective. So, and Mongols as well, works on them equally as well. So what you do, this is how basically I discovered this, is that the Timurids would show up, or the Mongols would show up, and I just needed to buy some time to get my armies over there. So I would build some forts at choke points, at river crossings, and it would just buy me like one additional turn before they went and attacked a highly valuable settlement. And what I noticed was that they would oftentimes besiege the fort and sometimes just not assault on that same turn, and it's largely because maybe they didn't have an elephant in there or anything that could actually initiate the attack. And that allowed me to actually sally out and attack them over my turn, and that then would allow that, when I lost, would put their army inside the fort. And so I figured that if I did that, and they were stuck inside of a fort, and then I attacked them, they would be more passive, being stuck inside of a fort. It would also allow me to use catapults and trebuchets in order to bombard the crap out of them, and actually be somewhat accurate, because the surface area, they're just all cramped into one small location. And elephants and all their missile units, they just wouldn't be able to work as effectively. And it just worked fantastically well. So if we take this army over here, so playing as Milan, this is not the best faction to go up against the Mongols. I reckon the best one in the game for dealing with the Mongols or Timurids is England. England's got the best and the largest number of long-range longbowman type units. So they've got longbows, yeoman longbows, and retinue longbows. All of them have long-range missiles, they're armor-piercing, and they've got sharpened stakes. That gives you a huge amount of protection. It also means that you need to rely on regular spears as much, and also the spears for England are nice and cheap and easily to replace. So that's kind of what you want for dealing with the Mongols there. You have to accept that you're going to take some casualties. And yeah, you could just lob your shots in. So it's also, with their gunpowder technology, they get access to mortars, which is particularly good for this, because you don't need a very good line of sight, and it's actually quite accurate. Anyway, so with this army here, just going through it, he's got some feudal knights. That's fine. You want to have some cavalry. You don't have to rely on it too heavily. But yeah, you just need something to protect your artillery, essentially. Peasant archer, not ideal. Genoese crossbowmen, militia or otherwise. That's fine. I mean, it's all we can make use of playing as Milan, because we don't get access to long-range archer units. But these guys here don't get flaming attacks, which is that's another thing that's really important with the archers, because of the elephants. Normally, in like every other faction that you're trying to fight, I wouldn't bother with flaming shots whatsoever in most cases. But when it comes to dealing with Timurids, because they always come with some elephants, making them rampage is really useful, especially if they're sitting inside of a fort, because they're going to be surrounded by their own troops. They rampage and kill half their own army. It's absolutely fantastic if you can do it, but you can't do that with a crossbow. But at least it's high damage dealing. Now, the dismounted feudal knights, they're not ideal, just because they don't really have any tactical edge for us here. They're just basically be holding them back. Trebuchets, really good choice. Grand bombard, not really as needed, because the gunpowder weapons, the gunpowder artillery, they're not quite as useful because of the walls that are going to be in the way. Whereas the trebuchets and the catapults kind of lob their shots over it. This is why mortars are the best ones to use for gunpowder, but we don't have access to them playing as Milan. Anyway, let's launch the attack here, and see how we go. So the balance of power isn't in our favor, and that's what I would have expected. This seems like one of their this is one of their initial lords. So this is one of the guys that came, I guess, from Baghdad, and super amount of dread. Oh, man, we're gonna have to watch out for that because our guy's got a decent amount of command, and he's really dreaded as well. Okay, we'll need to use a night attack. Doesn't matter about them having more morale. This is about making sure that our guys don't break because we need them to hold the line as much as possible. I expect them going to be unbreakable. Even if I kill the enemy general, they've got so much experience, we're not going to break them.
Kill them all, men!
Yeah, trebuchets and catapults. Even if you're at the gunpowder stage of the game, that's what's going to do an amazing job. So yeah, that army that we fought against Poland yesterday, that'd actually be really good for this. Yeah, fog. No, don't like the way it looks, but it's fine. Okay, so standing near a gate is usually pretty good. We want to get a line of sight that we can shoot into here reasonably well. Let's see how we go with that. Keep them reasonably far back. But we also need to make sure that our archers are able to shoot in as quickly as possible. Because they might try to go in through the gate, and there's no point trying to block both gates. They'll just run right over us with their elephants. You'll need to stay fairly close by. Just be careful with them though, because you could die. And we want to rush at this gate here so that we keep them pinned down in that area. Don't want to be using loose formation because I probably need to maneuver around a fair bit, and loose formation is just really janky. Okay, I need, shoot into the middle here. See how they're all blobbed up? Oh yeah, this is the benefit of being in a fort for them, for us. Now, trebuchets are really inaccurate, but if we can make any of these elephants go rampage, that'd be fucking amazing. Yep, keep them contained so they can't properly charge out of the fort. Yeah, be careful where you're shooting. Careful. Okay, we got incoming over here. Might need them to. Yeah, put this one. Yeah, it's on flaming shot. Shoot him in there. We don't have fire at the ground option in Medieval 2. I'm not sure if I actually want to make it rampage now because when they rampage, they're actually kind of more dangerous. Just keep them contained. You see, there's huge numbers of them sitting in here. Good. So looking at this, we've killed 48% of them, and we've only lost 7%. Another great thing about this as well is that when we win, we always wipe out their entire army. Whereas if you fight a field battle against them,
the enemy general lies dead.
Nice.
Good.
Fight a field battle against them, then they usually get away.
They
so
have
to
lost
fight their
half
best units
their men.
Because they've got so much cavalry, it's hard to catch them. You don't need to worry about that in this situation here. So that one, that one's gone rampage. That's good. So these ones here, if we can make them go rampage, that'd be amazing. Don't go push in too far just yet. Okay, I want these guys here to be aiming for the elephants. So yeah, a bunch of them going rampage. That's totally fine. Let them go. We don't have to kill. We don't even have to kill 85% of them to win this battle. All we have to do is just capture the town square. Main ones to go for are the elephants. We'll be able to handle like the Sabadar, or whatever.
Give grace to God. We have captured the enemy's walls.
I don't want them pushing that far out. Let's move back. It's too late, the elephants here. They're just going to rip us to shreds if we don't watch it. Trying to shoot our own unit, so use the artillery to shoot in a different direction. Got to watch out as well. If we lose all of our artillery and we haven't made a breach, then we will lose the battle straight away. So sometimes with the cannon, if you're going to bring it, it's good to just create a breach first, but if you're going to do that, don't put on flaming shots, it's less accurate. Yeah, that's a bit derpy. They're actually sort of glitching through the wall there a bit. Let's just try to move them back. Yeah, the elephants were just absolutely obliterating us there.
Excellent! We have breached our enemy's walls.
Good, that just ensures that if we lost the artillery, that we don't lose the battle straight away. Aiming for them. So there's the elephant artillery. It sucks that they're coming over this way. I don't want that. But at least when they're running amok like this, I'm pretty sure they don't shoot anymore. Get out of the way, get out of the way. They're coming straight for us. Again, this is why we don't want to be on loose formation, just because when they move around in loose formation, it's way more derpy. Okay. Ah, shit. They do move around just randomly, but there's always a chance that they'll randomly move into our units. Like these ones over here, they're probably not going to be a concern. Need to get rid of these elephants here. So yeah, the problem with the trebuchet is just really inaccurate. So who knows how many shots you need to take in order to get a good hit on them.
The battle is in our favor. If we remain true and wholehearted, victory will be ours.
Don't want our cavalry going after their elephants.
The walls fall. It is time to charge
okay, good. They've
men through
rampaged.
to slay our ungodly foe.
Get out of the way from them, and we don't need to worry about it. Hopefully. Alright, if I'm not mistaken, all of the elephants have now been dealt with. This one back on flaming shot, but yeah, grand bombards are very inaccurate. But if it hits with that shot, it'll do way more, get way more kills. So yeah, the crossbow is really good at killing the heavy cavalry, but the main concern was the elephants, which they're fine for dealing with now because they've all gone rampage, so that's all good. Oh shit, friendly fire there, that's not good. Like I said, they're so inaccurate, it's very hard to keep our guys out of potentially getting shot by them. So, we've lost a third of our army and they have lost 76%. Makes no sense to not use up our artillery ammo before going in. So we should do that. Chances of us actually hitting them seems to be pretty low. Okay, we could switch this over to just regular shot. There's no real benefit to using cows. Just regular shot. That one's well.
It is unwise to praise the day before sunset, but our men are winning the battle and forging a worthy victory.
Alright, get going. Alright, let's send in the infantry now because the skirmish is going fine, but we're not really dishing out that much damage to them, and they are we're trading more or less evenly. We haven't got this capture, so we have to go around this way. Because, yeah, their archers are just really bloody good. But they're not particularly armor-piercing, so now that all the elephants have been dealt with, we can send in the infantry to finish the job and make sure the general's not too far behind so that he can provide morale support. Good, the Sabadar militia, they are running away because of their skirmish mode. But the thing is, I don't need to kill them, I just need to get into the town square here.
Victory will be ours.
Okay, bring them around over here because it seems like they're trying to get out this way. Bring them in to fight them. As long as there's no halberds in the way, it should be fine.
My lord! Our men are in command of the fort!
So again, looking at this, 41% to 86%. Because, yeah, their morale shouldn't be too good, because even though they've got loads of experience, their general is dead. But we only need to wait 2 minutes in order for time to run out. Come on, get him out. Probably don't need this on flame shot anymore now that all the elephants have been rampaged. No, they're still going to basically fight to death.
Praise your might. By the
Right, so
Lord
there's
above,
still, let's see,
our
there was still
foe has been
3% of them remaining.
humbled.
700
Let all who
casualties
remember
on our
this
side.
day remember it as the day of
37%.
our most glorious victory.
So if I had fought a field battle, one thing I don't think I would have won, but let's say hypothetically I did manage to miracle pull off a victory, I probably would have lost about 80 to 89% of our forces easily. The other 11% would have left the battlefield and been captured.
No.
Okay, so here's the thing. They all get wiped out no matter what we do. So, ransom.
The payment of will.
Shouldn't execute them. Now, there's various things that you can do to set up a trap like this.
They deserve none.
But just building up a fort isn't really enough. So, let's have a look here. So once we've done that, just press M, merge them, and just move them back to here. Now, if we hit end turn right now, this army, this fort will be dismantled, so you have to leave something in there. So usually I leave just one peasant unit, but if you leave a hero in there, I'm playing too much Warhammer, a agent in there, that will actually prevent them from being dismantled. However, I have found that if the Timurid forces can capture the fort without a battle, then they'll walk outside the fort, so it doesn't really do a good job of keeping them in there. However, putting all of our spies in here, what this will do is allow us to open the gates without having to, like, let's just say hypothetically if we didn't have any artillery, then the spies can open the gate for us. Send them in there before it gets captured. So what we'll do is we'll send a unit of peasants, or you use a unit that's like really bad, like, okay, 4 units of dismounted knights, feudal knights there. That's actually worth less than 120 peasants.
Let me strike.
Okay, then we want to form a better army for this.
Onward.
So let's have a look. What do you got over here? You got catapults, and you're getting some of these. Okay, that's good. We don't need the bombards. Yeah, just get more catapults and trebuchets. And let's see what else we got here.
Who do I face? Command me.
Loads of cavalry.
Orders.
Oh, you've got mounted crossbows. Those are pretty good. In fact, those would have been better to use than the feudal knights. Interesting. What do we got over here? No artillery. Yeah, I don't need the cannons for this. We want trebuchets. It'll take them too long to get over here.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Orders. Let me strike, my lord.
Oh, there's a lot of artillery there. Okay, cool. At least I know where it is. That's what I'm looking for.
Onward. Virgin armies. Yes.
Okay. Let's move on to the next turn here, and let's see what happens. And since the Timurids are currently a horde, the Mongols have settled. But yeah, all you have to do is take out all of their armies, all of their generals, and then the Timurids are dealt with.
Noble foe. Let us see if we can reach. No,
Yeah, just take out all of their armies. It's easy, right? Okay, so they besiege with one of their armies. They launch the attack, but I think they will. They'll stay inside the fort. Yeah, so this army is about as strong as the previous one. Let you fight it manually, you might kill more. No, there's no towers or anything.
Yes, Lord. We shall pull down the fort.
Okay, so
Command me.
this guy is pretty good commander, so yeah, we'll use your king.
Who do I face?
Doge, and they sacked Edessa, so sucks for the settlement, but at least the Mongols don't have it anymore, and also these ones remain a horde.
Leading the army, my lord.
So they're only able to recruit
We march
mercenaries
on
in
our
addition to
will.
the ones so far. Alright, so we put 4 spies in there. There's another one here. I don't know where he came from. Actually, if I just lift this, what's the chances of you getting in there? There's a chance.
Moving in.
Not about it. I mean, how many times is it? Like, just if you take this entire channel and you look at every single time I've used a spy action, I reckon it'd be like 5% of the time, 5 or 10% of the time it's actually worked. Despite it, do you remember that time, a long time ago, I actually had I had 2 spies and they both had a 95% chance of getting into a settlement, and both times they failed, so both of them died. So it's like 1 in 20, then times 1 in 20 again, so really bad odds. Anyway, they didn't open up the gate anyway.
Your Majesty.
Okay, so we're not going to bring in the feudal knights this time. We're going to bring in them. Where are they?
Yes? Who do I face?
Where did I see? Was it over? If they saw them,
Orders?
where are they?
Yes?
Yeah, they're these. So just bring in 4 of those.
Orders.
I don't think these are long range, but that's
Onward.
fine.
Bringing our troops together.
Then, rather than bringing in dismounted feudal knights, I want to be bringing
Yes.
in the armored sergeants. That one's a bit damaged, so let's just see what else we got here. So
Orders.
5 should be sufficient. Yep, that's good. Cinnamon.
Yes. March. Combining forces, my lord.
They don't have good morale though, so having a really good general is important for that. I think his command stars went up by a bit. Okay, then we want
Orders?
to bring in lots of
Orders.
crossbows because we don't
Yes.
have archers. I would have actually
Orders.
preferred like.
My lord.
I'm not going to bring in any peasant archers.
There, your
And
Majesty.
then let's see here.
Yes.
I want to bring in
Ah.
4 pieces of artillery, but
Combining for your
not
Majesty.
the cannons. I want to bring
Yes.
in the trebuchets.
Your Majesty.
The trebuchets are the best. Catapults are fine as well. So the
There
catapults
do
have
not
slightly lower range than the trebuchets, so they're a bit more at risk. Okay.
Name thy enemy.
And
Lord.
there's also, yeah, I wouldn't worry about that. Now, because of the bridge crossing, I'm not able
Yes.
to bring anyone else over here to support. So let's do this now, and we'll see if I do any better. So I'd say the odds are probably worse. But we'll see. Also, I think the first battle that I fought, I should have won as well. That was quite lucky because we killed the enemy general like straight away. That's really good. If you manage that. Now they'll probably do the same thing that they did last time, as in they sent some guys around over here. So that's fine. If you're fighting in the same map over and over again, then sometimes it can give you some clues on how you can fight it better. You know, every time you fight a battle. So what I'm thinking, because they might come out over here, we want to be as sort of far away from them as possible. I'll start over here a little bit, maybe just align it a little bit more this way. And as for them, I'm gonna put, no, just keep them over here. Over here. You there as well. Okay, let's do this.
Advance, units.
Get in. Okay, forgot to put them on fire. Well, quick. But yeah, no cannons this time, because I don't think the cannons will really do any a lot. Okay, get in over there. Come on, trebuchets, be more accurate. Okay, these ones, well, if you come over here, we should be able to shoot into that fairly easily. So I don't think a single shot from these trebuchets hit in that previous volley. So that one, it hit. Yeah, we're killing a few elephants. That's good. That's what I want to see. Oh my god, someone call Peter. This is animal abuse. Imagine what it would have been like if you called Peter on the like Genghis Khan. What he would have done with that. I imagine it'd be very similar to the fate of the Khwarezmian Empire.
The battle is in our favor. If we remain true and wholehearted, victory will be ours.
Riding horses is animal cruelty. Oh, I'll just boil you in oil then. Alright. Don't shoot at these ones over here because good chance of hitting our own troops. Spearmen will do, like they dish out an additional bonus damage to the elephants. It's just that the elephants have a lot of hit points, so they're not going to die instantly. I'm going to aim for this Sabadar militia because it just needs to hit, just need to shoot somewhere in there. Try to get them to aim. It would be so good if we had the ability to fire at the ground, but we don't. Skill trim is probably not going to make any difference now. So have a look at this. 12% to 27%. Yeah, we're winning, but I think the previous battle did go better. Right, this one here is shooting at us, so that's good to watch out for, especially if they're trying to shoot the general. None of them have gone rampaged yet.
We are through the enemy's walls into the breach.
That's
for
good, I guess.
glory and
Stops us from-
victory.
But it's actually better if they break as opposed to go rampage, at least until they get in there, in which case definitely want them to rampage. We didn't kill the enemy general yet, have we? So these ones over here are shooting. Oh, they're on loose formation. Actually, that's not loose formation, I meant skirmish mode. Okay, I hate skirmish mode, but actually it helped us out a fair bit because I wasn't paying attention to them and they would have otherwise taken a lot of damage. And they are ripping the bodyguard to shreds, so they're doing a great job there. Maybe that's a bad spot for you to stand. I can see that that's where the elephant artillery is shooting.
Our soldiers have proved their worth
So it's
today.
on skirmish mode.
The enemy's walls belong to us now.
Good. Yeah, look, they've run amok. And they're going to kill some of their own units. That's great. Exactly what we want to see there.
The enemy are badly blooded. They have lost half their men.
Good here. Yeah, it's so inaccurate. So haven't killed that general's bodyguard yet. Okay, hang on. We got some elephants that came around over this way. When they rampage through here, they do more damage than when they not rampage. Need everyone to focus fire on them because there's no chance of running away now. Okay, but they don't properly target us. Okay, good, we're getting them. The general still hasn't been dealt with, but he's just about done. These elephant artillery. Just get them to rampage, that'd be great, but I need to get a successful hit in.
The enemy general has no honor. The Lord above is kind.
Jeez, we actually
We have
captured the
captured
general.
the
That's a really
enemy's
good one.
general.
That's
That
unusual.
will teach the
Oh, then again, we've got a
cowardly
fair bit of
dog to
dread, so yeah, that actually
now
does
he
make sense.
can rest at our leisure.
Chicken shit scared, just as we would have been chicken shit scared around him. Okay, bring the crossbows up. We've got to get rid of these elephant artillery. Also, the closer we get to the walls, the less likely they are of actually hitting us, just because they're not going to angle their shots well enough. At least. But what I'm really hoping for here is that when we hit them with a flaming shot, that they rampage and like kill all these Sabadar militia or whatever's over here. Okay, they'll be more accurate if we got in a little bit closer. So let's do that. Marginally more accurate, but that could be the difference between hitting them and not hitting them. There we go, we got them, and they rampaged through, and they kill a few of their guys, and then they're leaving. Alright, cool. Good. And there's a few of them there. Looks like our shots are doing
we have
quite well.
breached our enemy's walls.
They're not really doing much damage to us. Okay, we could probably justify putting it just on regular shot now, that we don't need the flaming attack, which is significantly less accurate. I definitely think that these mounted crossbowmen have been really effective. Be interested to know how many kills they got in this battle. So, as a percentage, I think we definitely suffered significantly fewer casualties in this battle than the previous one. It's just that we also didn't get very lucky. Like, the enemy general didn't just get hit with a rock, die early. Where are these things happening? Or in some cases, they don't happen. Alright, send them in and let's finish the job here. And then, yeah, if you could just like take out the Timurid army one army at a time this way, it's ideal. Yeah, you don't ever really want to have a situation where you're like fighting 4 Timurid armies at the same time. It's not
Run
really good.
down the enemy.
And while defending a city can be quite effective, if it's like a citadel, but a huge city, not so much against the Timurids. They're quite good against that, depending on the garrison you put in there. But yeah, we didn't take that much damage, and then again, if we do it again, just chuck that in there and just see what happens one last time.
Now we have them. We lay siege. When shall we attack the walls?
I've been
then,
contracted to deal with the Timurid stuff. I don't need to worry about this.
They come here to siege, but they shall
And then
leave here dead.
launch the attack again.
Lord, the
Yeah.
enemy
If there's a
lays
delay
siege. What shall
after
we
they do the initial attack, they're making an attack. Yeah. This is Timur himself. Well, he's got a smaller army than the previous one. Then you just lose, and he should stay in there. Because I think what happens with the AI is that each individual army only has a number of things that they can do in any given turn. So if they like capture a city, they don't, even if it's possible for them to just move on to a nearby city, they're not programmed to use up all of their movement. They're just programmed to do a few things in their turn and then just be satisfied with it. And so capturing a fort just basically does enough to be satisfied, as long as they fought a battle. Again, if you just leave nothing but spies in there, they don't fight the battle, they take it and then they move on. So that's why you've got to leave a unit in there.
Order.
Looks like our Doge died. Did he?
Your Majesty.
This was our army. No, it wasn't.
Name
No, there
thy
he
enemy,
is. What am I
Lord.
talking about? That was it. Right, because I moved him back over there. My bad. Blind. And then let's have a look at this. So 52% chance of opening the gates. There's Tamerlane, way higher command than the other one. Well,
Your
a bit
will.
higher command. And then
Who do I face?
same thing again.
We shall send them to hell or worse. March.
Oh, we had a
Oh,
movement.
Who do I face? Sooner or later, they will relent, my lord. When
And once
shall
again,
we
it seems like the
attack
gate did
walls
not
then, my
open.
lord? Name thy enemy.
But yeah, I reckon we could win that. But you get the point. And doing this, you know, at a choke point or wherever it is that you can manage to deal with it, it just really helps to thin these forces out, because the Timurids are extremely dangerous. Another thing is that if you prepare well enough, by, you know, the time they show up, you can have so much forces in this area that you can just throw so much at them that you can eventually overcome them. Because even if you lose the battle, they don't get auto replenishment except for general's bodyguards, so you just keep losing until they're dead. Also, this is another technique that I did. I don't recommend doing this, but it's what I did before I started doing forts. Is I would just recruit, just spam cavalry, like 5, 10, 15 armies of cavalry, and I would just charge a single army in at a time. And what I would be doing is not specifically trying to destroy their army, but just kill a general. Go in, kill whatever general's on the battlefield, and then just retreat. And then just keep doing that until all their generals are dead, and then all of their armies disappear. So if we were to look at that, how many? There's still a lot of them remaining. Yeah, there's still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that I can see there, plus Timo. And you got to be quick about it as well, because they can still get like adoption candidates and just stick a new general in there. So using assassins can be effective as well, but
Am I taking down a person?
Anyway, guys, that's it for this one. Hope you learned something with this. Hope this helps your Mongol and Timurid invasion defense strategies. Appreciate you, and we'll see you next time. Later, guys.